Welcome, everyone. My name is Jerry Brim, and I have a spot of tea for you around setting meaningful goals. So let's go ahead and jump in. This is a chance for you, as we all are asked and tasked, to figure out what's going to happen this coming year. And with so much going on around us and so much change around us, sometimes it can feel a little fruitless. And that's why we want to elevate the process of setting goals. And so we do this in a way that makes them meaningful at the end of the year. I'm going to ask you to take a moment as you put your goals together, stop and envision your future. I'm going to ask you to flash forward to 1 year from now. And if you were reflecting back on all the amazing things you were able to accomplish, what are they? What kind of impact did you have over the year? What were the kinds of things you were able to deliver on? What were some of the relationships you were able to build or enhance because of the work you did? What were some of the outcomes you were able to generate? Thinking about what it is in terms of what it's going to look like in the future helps you actually back up and then do the steps it takes to get there. There's an old adage, begin with the end in mind. So that's what we're talking about here. The other piece that makes this meaningful is when you're thinking about what that year is going to look like. How is it tied to your priorities? What are your priorities? What is it that makes you you? What is it that makes you unique and the right person for the job at the right time? Thinking about the things that matter to you, whether it is financial health, your physical health, mental health. Maybe it is about your career and where you're at in that in terms of thriving as a professional. Maybe it is about relationships. So really being clear on the kinds of things that matter most to you allows you to then put the work in, and it all has purpose. And once you've done that, once you're really clear on what's important to you, you have a sense of what that future could look like, you dig in because the future is now. Everything you do today starts building towards those outcomes you were already envisioning. And if you had it tied to your overarching priorities, then even if things shift and move throughout the year and you're tracking your progress and what was critical in January no longer seems so critical in May, it's okay because ultimately they should be tied to something bigger. Your priorities, your organization's priorities. And now's the time to start thinking about, have I made these specific enough to get me to where I need to be? Have I made them inclusive enough? Who am I going to be collaborating with to make this happen? Do I need help to get to the finish line? Do I have folks in my life that will be a champion for me when I have to go to the mat? Do I have folks that are my cheerleaders? And when I'm having a rough patch or I need some guidance, they're going to be on the sidelines cheering me on. Do I have people in my world that will be a challenger for me? They were going to step in and maybe push me a little bit harder, a little bit farther than I thought I could go. If so, how do I set the stage so I'm inviting them in for that help at the right times? Having this idea of what I need to do step by step, and it's going to change and it's going to adapt throughout the year, but it sets you up to look back next year and reflect back on all you were able to accomplish. And I will tell you, over the years, when I've done this for myself and I've done this for others or with others, we are most of the time pretty surprised that we actually exceeded what we thought was even possible, no matter how bold or crazy we thought those initial envisioned goals would be. We are able to do so much more than we give ourselves credit for. So envision that bold, amazing future. Do the steps now to get yourself there and have a really impactful year. You can find us for more resources, all kinds of other tips and tools at our website on theexecutiveadvisory.com, or you can always follow us on LinkedIn or Instagram. So thanks so much for joining me for a little spot of tea.